back to the YouTube channel, Pro Enter Vid, and this is my round 23 NRL tips for 2023. And wow, we're getting close to finals, aren't we? We are getting close to finals, and it's exciting because literally only a few weeks to go the season, and obviously only 4 to go after this week. So it's crazy to think like how quick this year's gone, but it's exciting now because we're getting a feel of what teams are locked in for the finals and top 4 and top 8. I mean, top 8's not locked in at all because we can see there's a log jam between some teams from 11th to maybe 7th, 6th, 5th. But the top 4 is locked for me. But anywhere from 5th to 11th and maybe 12th, it's still open. So it's, yeah, very exciting to see actually. But anyway, this is my round 23 tips for 2023. So look, should be a big week ahead. I was very close to getting 8 out of 8 last week, but the Sunday fixtures when the Bulldogs beat Dolphins and the Titans beat Cowboys, I unfortunately missed the opportunity to get 8 out of 8, so I got 6 out of 8 instead, but it's alright. Every week's a goal to get 8 out of 8, so is this the week? I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, no, it should be a good week ahead. Some big games. Thursday looks good with Manly Roosters, which I'll be at. Friday, Panthers Storm again in Penrith. Broncos Cowboys on Saturday will be huge. That's a day game too, which I'm very shocked about. Double header in Perth between the Dolphins and Knights and Rabbitohs and the Sharks, which is cool. And Sunday, the main game, it's the Raiders and the Tigers taking on each other in Canberra. So yeah, some decent contests coming up. So hopefully, it's a good week ahead. But before I start, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look, my goal is to get to 3,500 subscribers. Hasn't been easy getting there, I guess. It's been a bit of a slow process, and it's alright. I'll get there eventually. But if you are new watching the channel right now, it would be greatly appreciated if you can subscribe to the channel. And that will all contribute to my goal of 3,500 subscribers. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. But until then, let's get into my tips, shall we? So yeah, big game on Thursday, and obviously, I'll be at this game as always, like I am at every other week. But yeah, no, this will be good. Manly playing on a Thursday night, which is something that's not really common for Manly to play on a Thursday night. So it's good to finally be back on a Thursday night again. I think our last one was against the Eels back in round 3, so it's been a while. But Roosters Manly. Obviously, these two sides played each other a couple of weeks ago, and that was at Brookie. And we just won 18-16, so that was a very important game to win. We did that, so it was good to get the victory back then. So hopefully we can get another one on Thursday. But I don't think it'll be easy. I think the Roosters at the SCG normally are tough to handle, so we've got to be wary of that. So, but no, it should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. So looking at both sides, for the Roosters first, after failing a HIA assessment against the Broncos, Egan Butcher will miss this match. Sia Wong comes into the starting back row position, and Drew Hutchinson's back for the Roosters with Jake Turpin dropping to reserves. And then for Manly, Ben Trbojevic is back from a hamstring injury, so that's good to see Benny back on the bench. Christian Tuipulotu is out with an MCL injury, so he'll miss about 2 weeks, which is a shame. So that means Big Ray Vega is back on the wing, which I'm so keen to see. And Trbojevic and Burbo's return sees Sean Keppie drop out of the squad. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Look, my tip for this game, gonna back the boys here. I think Manly can win this one. I think we can. I really do. It's important that we win every game for the rest of the year. Not, we don't have to necessarily win every game to make finals, but it's very important to at least win more than we lose, I'd say, from now to round 27. So this is the game we have to win. Hopefully we do. So I'll go Manly by 4. I reckon it'll be tight, like a 22 points to 18 scoreline. First try scorer. For some reason, I'm getting a good vibe that Tolu Kola might score first, so I'll back Tolu in. He scored last week for Manly their first try, so he might do it again. Right, on to the Friday fixtures now. It is the first game of 2. It is the Titans taking on the Warriors at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. So normally these two sides actually do have some interesting contests against each other, because normally it's very tight when these two sides play. Like Titans win one game against them, then the next game Warriors win the next game, and Titans win, Warriors win, you get what I mean? So it's actually a very mixed record these two sides have against each other as well. So very intriguing to see how this game does go, but the Warriors have been fantastic this year, and Titans had a good win against the Cowboys on Sunday, so can they back that up? Have to wait and see. But Looking at both teams, for the Titans, AJ Brimson Ribs is good to go after scans cleared him of a serious injury. Jojo Fafita missed this game with an ankle injury, so Aaron Schopp joins the backline in Jojo Fafita's absence. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui has one more match to serve on his suspension. And for the Warriors, Andrew Webster has named the same set of team that down the Warriors. Down the Warriors. Okay, the NRL has got a typo here because it says down the Warriors, but no. Yeah, so Warriors had the same team from the week before because they had the bye last week. So Moroni Okoro is good to go after suffering a head knock in that match. Justin Vargas has been listed as 18th man as he needs a return from a calf injury. So yeah, he'll return very soon to Varga. But my tip for this game, I trust the Warriors more. I think Titans were impressive against the Cowboys, and that was an impressive performance to bounce back after how they lost to the Roosters. But I don't know. I think the Warriors are building something this year. I can't deny and can't, shut out how good they've been. So I think they'll continue their momentum and win this game. So I'll go the Warriors by 8 points. And first try scorer, going to back in, who else? Dalmatines Lesniak. He's just too good. On to the main game on the Friday now, and this is the huge one. This is a blockbuster contest as always. It is the Panthers taking on the Storm at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith. So if you remember last year when these two sides played in Penrith last time, the Storm won, and they actually had a good win over the Panthers, but they had players out, I think, as well. So it wasn't, a win, I guess Storm would say that was huge against, because that was a understrength Penrith side, but they had most of their players still playing. So, it was a big win by Storm last time they played in Penrith, but, Panthers have obviously most of their full team back, so should be a better contest this time. And they played a couple of weeks ago as well at Marvel Stadium, and Penrith were too good in that one too, so can they get another win over the Storm? Have to wait and see. But looking at both sides, for the Panthers, Zach Hosking has been named to replace the suspended Tyrone Peachey in the centres, and Isaac Tago has been named to play so far. He's been named in reserves, but could come into the side later in the week. And James Salmon is the new man on the bench. And for the Storm, Nelson Asafa-Solomona returns from a finger injury that pushes Tom Eisenhuth to the bench, and Wishart's 18th man. Nelson Asafa-Solomona played at an edge when Ali Katoa was out with an eye injury, but will most likely find himself back in the middle. And Katoa, with Katoa having returned last week. And Ryan Pappenhausen, now this is great news to see Pappenhausen so close to a NRL return, because it's been a year since he's played the game, but he'll play Queensland Cup this week, so I'm hoping he gets through it all right, and hopefully it's a big game. So how good Pat is nearly back playing again. But my tip for this game, it'll be close as always. Like normally when these two sides play, it's close, but I think this time Penrith will get another win over the Storm. I just think Penrith, I don't know who can knock them off at the moment. They're just too good. So I'll go Panthers by 6. First try scorer, Zach Hosking in the centres is weird, but I'm going to go with the other centre for the Panthers to score first. I'm going to go with Stephen Crichton to score first, I reckon. Okay, on to the Queensland Derby, the start of Super Saturday. It is the Cowboys taking the Broncos at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. Let me just say, it's very weird to see these two sides play on a Saturday Arvo game, because it's not really common to see these two sides play on a Saturday Arvo. It should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all goes, on a Saturday Arvo, Cowboys Broncos. It'll be a big crowd. I think it's sold out too, so, it should be a great atmosphere there in Townsville, and on a hot day it should be. Cowboys Broncos on a day game, that's very uncommon, but I'm keen for it. I won't complain. Looking at both sides, for the Cowboys, Val Holmes has been named to play pending his trip to the judiciary on Tuesday night to challenge the grading of his careless tackle and high tackle charge, I meant to say. A successful downgrade will see him available to play against the Broncos, and if he's unsuccessful, Zach Labour looms as the likely replacement to play in the centres if Holmes is out. Reece Robson suffered a head knock in the closing stages of the Titans game, but has been named while Griffin Neame returns from a head knock and on the bench alongside edge forward Keelan Lukey, who's back for his first game since round 16 from a facial fracture. And for the Broncos, Jesse Arthurs returns from suspension, and back rower Brendan Piakura with an illness is back on deck. Dean Mariner makes his way out of the team for Jesse Arthurs, and Piakura pushes Keenan Palacia to the bench and Xavier Wilson to the reserves. Jordan Ricky is part of the extended squad as he needs a return from a foot injury. Honestly, this should be another 1-12 game. I really do think so. I know the Cowboys got exposed by the Titans on Sunday, but they should be a bit more fired up for this one, you'd think, because the Broncos are sort of a team that they don't really like. But I will tip the Broncos. I think Brisbane they're too good themselves. I think the Cowboys will, they'll be competitive early, but I think Broncos' class will get them in the end, and that's just the honest truth, I reckon. So Broncos by 10, and I reckon first try is going to be Reece Walsh. Now, on to the next game now, and this is a double-header in Perth, and it's between these four sides. The first game is obviously Dolphins and Knights, but the one after is Sharks and the Rabbitohs, all at one stadium in Perth, Optus Stadium, so very cool to see and exciting to see. I think the last time a double-header was played in Perth, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think back in 2018, round one, when the Warriors took on the Rabbitohs there, and the Bulldogs played the Storm, I think, back in 2018, round one. I think that's the last time there was a double header for the NRL in Perth. So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the last time there. But obviously Knights and Dolphins played earlier in the year. Dolphins got the chocolates in the end there. Can the Knights? The Knights are a changed side now. So can the Knights continue their winning ways, or can the Dolphins cause an upset? But looking at both sides, for the Dolphins, Cody Nicarima moves from 5'8" to the centres, which is very weird as well. But Ewan Aiken's out, so that's why. And Anthony Milford slots to 5'8". Corneli Lemuelu, head knock, has been named to play. Isaiah Katoa is the new face on the bench. And now for the Knights, prop Daniel Saifidi remains sidelined, so Adam O'Brien has named the same 17-man squad that downed the Raiders in round 22, and that made it 4 straight wins in a row. Look, this is a tough game. I really think this is tough. I will go with an upset. I reckon the Dolphins might get the Knights here. I think Knights have been good, and they've been great for the last month, but it's hard for me to imagine that Knights would go on a 5-game winning run. I can't see it. If they do win this game and go on a 5-game winning run, then that's incredible, because, it's been a while since the Knights have gone that much of a winning streak, but I just can't see it. I don't think they're that consistent enough to get to a, that much of a winning streak. I think Dolphins are eager for a win, and they'll be hurting after that loss to the Bulldogs last week, which could have ended their season. So I reckon they'll be up for this one, the Finns. So I'll go Finns by 2, tight game, and first try, let's go Dominic Young. And now the final game is Super Saturday, and the final game at Optus Stadium for the doubleheader. It is the Rabbitohs taking on the Sharks. And these two sides played each other as well back early in the year, round 1, I think. And the Sharks got a tight win over Souths there down in Cronulla. So, but things have changed ever since. Like, the Rabbitohs obviously have been a bit patching themselves in form, but they've been a lot better than what the Sharks have been recently, because the Sharks are just going from up Cronulla to down Cronulla very quickly as well. So the Sharks need to get their order right. They need to get some consistency in their game. Don't know if this is the game that they'll win and bounce back and shut everyone up. I don't know, but it'll be a tough game for them, I think, this one. But looking at both sides, for the Rabbitohs, Tom Burgess and second rower Michael Cheekham have come into the starting side, with Hamo Sele and Jacob Host dropping out. And Talis Duncan's back on the bench for the Souths team as well. And for the Sharks, Will Kennedy hamstring is sidelined. Connor Tracy moves to fullback, and Ronaldo Mulatalo-Jaw returns to the wing. And Jesse Colahoun returns from suspension on the bench, and Oregon Kafusi goes out of the squad. Look, my tip for this game, I can't go past Souths. I think Souths, for me, have a bit more to offer than what the Sharks do. Until the Sharks can prove to me they can be a bit more consistent and get some, performances working again, then, I think Souths have got them covered here. So, Rabbitohs, I was thinking it'd be title week. I thought it'd be a really close game, but I'm confident that Souths will win 13+. I think they'll win by about 16 points. So, Souths by 16, first try. Let's go with a bold one. Michael Cheekham scoring his return game. On to Sunday Arvo footy now. It is the first game of 2, It is the Eels taking on the Dragons, and this game has been taking place at Combank Stadium. So Eels are back at home against the Dragons, who, well, unlucky against Manly, but you know they just weren't good enough, and yeah, they have to, I guess, have some sort of redemption from last week if they had any chance of upsetting the Eels, because yeah, I don't know, this is a tough game for the Dragons, but look, with how the game is right now, anything's possible. But yeah, Parramatta at home are usually a stronger side, so this should be a good game. Now, I've got a few things to discuss here. So for the Eels, they're going for their team. Dylan Brown returns for his first game since round 13 after serving a 7-match suspension. So yeah, good to see Brown back. He'll replace Dejan Assi in the starting side. And oh my God, upsetting the Eels, because yeah, I don't know, this is a tough game for the Dragons, but look, with how the game is right now, anything's possible. But yeah, Parramatta at home are usually a stronger side, so this should be a good game. Now, I've got a few things to discuss here. So for the Eels, they're going for their team. Dylan Brown returns for his first game since round 13 after serving a 7-match suspension. So yeah, good to see Brown back. He'll replace Dejan Assi in the starting side. And oh my God,
hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Isaac Lumi is back in the team, everyone. So Isaac Lumi is back for the Eels, and this is huge. This is huge. You know, Lumi is a future immortal. Like, he will be better than JT, Greg Inglis, Slater, Smith, and yeah. Like, it's funny how only a few people realise this. Like, not everyone realises how good Lumi is. He's a GOAT, and oh yeah, look, you know, if you disrespect him, then you're obviously going to cause yourself some unneeded bad luck in the future. So don't disrespect the GOAT, Lumi. But yeah, no, big in, huge in, massive in of the century. But what else? Wagga Blake's out, and Joe Offahengawi, Ryan Madison, and Joey Larson got all named to start, with Andrew Davey going to the bench, Brendan Hans 18th man, and Ogden to reserves. Waimu, Greg, and Makahesi Makatoa have been called onto the bench. And for the Dragons, Ryan Carr has named the same 17 that went down narrowly, but he will need to have a lock unless Jack DeBellin is successful in having his the dangerous contact charge downgraded at the NRL Judiciary on Tuesday night. Ben and Basile is named among the reserves. Yeah, my tip for this game, because Lumi's playing, I think Parramatta win by 50, maybe 56, 58, or 100. No, I think Parramatta should win 13 plus, and first try, Lumi. Can't go anyone else but him. And on to the following game of round 23. It is the Raiders taking on the Tigers at GIO Stadium in Canberra. And yeah, this is another interesting game in my opinion. I think, look, even where the Tigers are on the ladder, I think the Tigers have potential to really rock the Raiders here and give them a run for their money. Because Canberra have been a bit average recently, and they're very lucky to be where they are, 5th on the ladder. So, and Knights exposed them last week, so Canberra are definitely vulnerable. They're a vulnerable team. You know, you can't fully trust them. So I think Tigers, you know, they have potential to really, you know, give the Raiders a run for their money here. But Tigers are Tigers, and you can't, you know, expect so much from them. But looking at both sides, for the Raiders, Jordan Rapana has been named at fullback, and Seb Chris is in the centres, with Nick Kotrick returning on the wing. Adrian Trevelyan is the new man on the bench, with Tom Starling going to the reserves, and Trevelyan made his one NRL appearance last year against the Cowboys, and returns from ACL injury. And for the Tigers, Stefano Toikamanu has been replaced in the front row by Alex Twal, with Justin Matamua added to the bench. Sean Bloor will miss the match with a head knock. Jake Simkin and Asu Kepaoa join a new look bench, and 5'8" Dane Laurie from an injury is back to playing again. Yeah, look, it's been cleared. Sorry, Laurie. Yeah, look, my tip for this game, I think the Raiders will be too good, but look, I really think Raiders could lose this one. I might regret tipping the Raiders here. I just feel like they're going to drop a game eventually and against a shit club, so it might happen. But I don't know. I think Raiders could just get the win here by about 4 points and first try. Let's go Jack Wyden, but this is the game I'm very tempted to tip the Tigers in. But that's my tips around 23 of the NRL. Thank you very much again for watching. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment your tips in the comment section down below. I love to see what everyone's backing for the weekend. But everyone, enjoy your weekend of footy, and yeah, good luck to all your teams.